Welcome back. So today we are diving into the world of 65% keyboards, a sweet spot between compactness and functionality that is perfect for many of you out there. They strike the perfect balance between minimalism and usability, offering just enough keys to cover basic needs without taking up too much desk space. In today's video, we will explore some of the best 65% keyboards on the market, look at their unique features, and help you decide which one of them is your next typing companion. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos. Before we get started, we have to talk about what keyboards we are looking at, why they are selected, as well as the metrics that we are using. So first up, we have the AL66 from Yunzi. It is a budget pre-built keyboard that comes very well packaged with a bunch of accessories. Second, we have the popular Neo 65. A budget keyboard from Cody Keys, whose sole purpose was to create a premium experience at an affordable price for the masses. Third, we have a rather aged Vega 65, designed and produced by AIO3 back in 2020. It was so popular back then that prices rose by 100% in the aftermarket. Very excited to look at this one. Finally, we have a premium 65%, the Mercury 65 by Rocket Keyboards. This one took a little while to arrive because of many manufacturing setbacks, but at least it got delivered. Honestly, it was very hard to select 65% keyboards to compare against. For instance, there's the Kohaku, if social media hype is what you buy into. Then there's the Owllabs QK65, which is also a great budget option. And then there's also very commonly recommended ones like KB Defense Tofu. So how and why are these 4 keyboards selected? Well, firstly, these 4 keyboards are readily available to me, and secondly, I believe these keyboards are good representations of their respective archetypes. Like, the contemporary for the Neo 65 would be QK65, the contemporary for Vega would be Kohaku, and so on and so forth. You can literally swap out the keyboards, and 90% of what I discuss here will apply to both. Next, the metrics. We'll be looking at 3 different areas. 1. Price. 2. Build quality and aesthetics. 3. Customizability. Let's look at what is probably the most important criteria to a lot of you, the price. The AL66 is $85 bare bones and $100 with keycaps, switches and stabilizers included. Its price alone makes it a very attractive keyboard. Decision paralysis is also a very real thing. What keyboard should I go for? What do you mean ABS, PBT, Cherry, DCS, SA, GMK? Stabilizers, isn't that for gummy bears? Imagine the confusion. Instead, just $100 will get you to a great starting point. Not to mention, there are a bunch of accessories as well, should you want to get modding after you slowly get educated on these intricate details. Well, if you don't care about such things, you only spend $100 anyway. Next, the Neo 65. This keyboard starts at $80 bare bones. Unlike the AL66, you can't pay extra to get keycaps, switches and stabilizers, which means that in order to get it decently built, you will have to sink anywhere upwards of $120 to $150. It is also a step up in terms of knowledge and commitment because you need to get your hands dirty for this one. This practice is, however, common for custom keyboards at or above this price range. Nonetheless, the Neo is popular because this price was never seen before in a custom mechanical keyboard. Then, we have the Vega 65, which at the time of this group buy costs around $330 bare bones. Fully built, it should cost you roughly $400 to $450. At this price range, you expect the keyboard to possess some unique qualities, which we will talk about in detail later. Finally, the Mercury 65, which costs a whopping $500 bare bones. At this price, you either understand the value of this keyboard or you don't. Usually, there's some hype or fandom or active community that fervently supports the project, and that's why they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So while you and I may not be willing to spend this much, you can be jolly well sure that there are people who appreciate the marketed values and buy into it. For the price category then, the unanimous winner is the AL66. For the complete package that this keyboard comes in, it is a clear winner for those looking for value. Did I also mention that this keyboard is fully aluminum? $100, right? For a fully aluminum keyboard, that's insane. But there are some things that made me hesitate to put this keyboard together with the rest of the luxury mechanical keyboards. And that brings me to the next metric, build quality. For $100, the AL66 feels great. I'm genuinely surprised at the density of the main chassis. I've built aluminum keyboards with chassis that feels lighter than the AL66. The caveat here is that the surface finishing is a little rough. I suspect it's a result of sandblasting that is used to hide any imperfection before anodizing on the color. Regardless, the AL66 has given the others a run for their money on this front. Other things though aren't so great. For one, the keycaps have uneven fonts. Just look at this escape. It irritates the OCD in me. 2. The knob isn't satisfying at all. The surface feels very rough and too sharp to the touch. 3. The included switches sound rather thin on the downstroke. They don't seem to be evenly looped as well. Some are scratchy, some are smooth. Plus points though for non-ticking stabilizers. So decent build quality overall, and for its price, I can look past the minuses. Did I also mention that this keyboard is the only one that has RGB? The rest of the keyboards though are neck and neck. The Neo has a great smooth finishing and comes with a nice brass weight. I don't doubt the Vega has great finishing, but I can't judge my copy here because this second-hand one has been spray painted over, and it was done pretty haphazardly at that. The backweight though looks fabulous with this sparkly finish. The Mercury has a lot of intricate details, like a rocket badge for the top right blocker and a planet-themed backweight design which may be a hit and miss for some. Each of these 3 keyboards feels great in the hands, and they look amazing as well, and as such I put the 3 of them neck and neck at the top. And then we come to customizability. There are 2 subcategories to customizability, hardware and software, so let's talk both. For the AL66, you can tune the acoustics pretty easily. There are multiple foams that come with the keyboard, so if you don't like certain dampening layers, just take them out. Switches are hot swappable too, so you can change them out if you're like me and don't like the thin sound that it has. Software though remains much to be desired. Leaving aside the fact that it is a non-QMK or VIA keyboard, the software is outdated and is limited in features towards customizing keys and macros. The side RGB also doesn't sync well with the PCBs, and you can't fix this in software either. Overall, decent hardware customizability, poorer software support. The Vega and Mercury here are both on par in terms of customizability. Both come with QMK and VIA to bring out the best functionality. Keyboards in this price range usually embody or inherit some of the artistic flair from the designer. What I mean by that is that surprisingly, these keyboards may or may not come with foams to tune the acoustics because the designer or the creator simply thought that it was perfect. Others may include foams to let the user enjoy customizability. There is also no RGB in either of these keyboards as well, another design choice. Not exactly great for a personalized typing experience, but nothing to scoff at either because they both sound and look great, even without mods. I can see why there isn't a need to include any foam. But what really stood out for me is the Neo 65 out of these 4 keyboards. Not only does it come with QMK and VIA out of the box, you get a bunch of foams in order to tune the acoustics to your liking. For an added fee of about $20 to $30 for a Bluetooth enabled PCB, you can enable wireless connectivity to your computer, easily the most customizable and feature-rich out of the 4. Here's a quick sound test of all 4 keyboards. So, which of these keyboards wins the competition? In my mind, it is undoubtedly the Neo 65. Before the Neo 65 and its contemporaries like the QK65, there exists only 3 tiers of keyboards. 1. The pre-built, 2. The mid-tier keyboards, and 3. The premium range. And today, these budget tier keyboards have given the mid-tier keyboards a run for their money. These are appealing not only because of the price, but also the value and the functionality and the build quality that it provides. So unless you're going for a very specific design, like say the Iron 165 or the Matrix Corsa, there really isn't much reason for you to pay much more than the budget tier keyboards. By the way, I've also done another video comparing 75% keyboards, so do check the video out if you're interested. Alright, I'm done. See ya!